Hi, first graders. I'm Mrs. Buck, and today I'm going to be teaching you our new word of the day. And actually, it's going to be our word of the week because we're going to stretch it out for the whole week. I'd like to see if you can guess the word of the day. And I'd like to invite you to join me in my virtual classroom. So come on, let's go. Here we are in Mrs. Buck's room. Welcome to my class. All right, I have a picture for you on my board. It's a little boy and he's yawning. Oh, can you guess the word of the day? Maybe sleepy, tired. Those sound great, but that's not it. Let me give you another clue. The word I'm looking for is kind of the opposite of wide awake. Not sleepy. It starts with a D, R. Any guesses? I think I might have heard it. The word is drowsy. Have you heard that word before? Look at this baby. This baby looks so drowsy. Have you used this word before in a sentence? The baby looks drowsy. What does that mean? The definition of drowsy is very sleepy. Sometimes Mrs. Buck is very drowsy, especially on a rainy day or after a very busy day. I become very drowsy. So it's time to get your circle map ready. Get out your piece of paper or your journal and draw your circle map. Now, it's time to write the word drowsy right there in the middle. D-R-O-W-S-Y, drowsy. Then we're going to write these words around the outside. Define, that's going to be our definition. The sentence will go down here in this area. The picture will go where I'm standing. And let me move myself so you can see here. This will be where you have to guess or figure out, really, what kind of word it is, the part of speech. So let's continue on by writing our definition. Here is where you're going to write it. Remember our definition. A drowsy person is very sleepy. So that's where you're going to write the definition for our word. Now, it's time for you to think of a sentence. I can give you a couple examples, but I think that you're pretty good at coming up with your own sentences. You don't need to write a sentence today, but you can start thinking about it. You're going to write it right there where I've circled it in yellow. Can you think of a good sentence for this word? Drowsy. Let me see if I can help you think of some things. What do people do when they are drowsy? Maybe you could say, drowsy people yawn. Oh, yes, they do. Maybe drowsy people close their eyes. Maybe drowsy people lay their heads down. Or have you ever seen a drowsy person start to nod off? Have you ever seen that? It's kind of funny. Their heads start to kind of bend forward like this. Even babies do it sometimes. So drowsy people, think about what they do. Or maybe you can talk about how do you feel when you're drowsy? You could say, oh, I feel drowsy when I've had a very busy day. Or I'm grouchy when I'm drowsy, definitely. How can people tell when you are drowsy? I'll bet your parents can tell you're drowsy when you get cranky. Maybe you start whining, rubbing your eyes. These are things that you can write about in your sentence. So tomorrow you will be writing the word in a sentence, and you're also going to tell the part of speech. So don't forget when you're writing your sentence to use cups. Remember this? C stands for capital letters. There's some examples. If it's the name of a store like Target, it's always capital. Golden Gate Bridge is the name of a special bridge. If it's the beginning of your sentence, it doesn't matter what word it is, it will always be capital. You, reread your sentence. Did you say drowsy when I tired? Does that make sense? Check for understanding. Maybe you can say, I am drowsy when I'm tired after a long day. That sounds like a more complete thought, a full sentence. Then check your ending. What goes at the end of a sentence? Punctuation. Does it need a question mark or an exclamation point? Or are you just simply stating a fact? And that's when you'll use your period. The example here says, Mr. Harrington said, wow, and there's an exclamation point there. I love reading too, ending it with a period. And then the last thing I want you to check for your sentence is spelling. Did you spell all those trick words correctly? And spaces. Please put space between your words. Don't forget. Now, this is where you're going to decide what part of speech is the word drowsy. Let's think about drowsy for a minute. Now, when I say part of speech, what I really mean is it a noun, a verb, or an adjective? A noun, of course, is a person, place, or thing. And I like to say sometimes a noun is something you can see. Can you see a drowsy? Maybe, but let's see, what else could we think of? Is drowsy an adjective? Does it describe someone? Can a person be drowsy? That drowsy dad is driving off the road. That might make sense. But let's also think about the last part of speech that we've learned, a verb. Is it an action or a state of being? Can you do it? Can you drowsy? All right, so now that we've talked about that, you get to decide what part of speech it is. So here's the order in which I'd like you to fill out your circle map. First, you're going to write the word drowsy in the middle, then write your definition. Then it's going to be up to you. Tomorrow, please write your sentence first. Check for cups. Then decide what part of speech it is. On Wednesday, I'd like you to take the time to draw and color a nice picture to go along with the word drowsy. That's where it goes. Don't forget to color. You are an artist. And on Wednesday, when the whole circle map is finished, submit it to Seesaw so I can take a look and see what you've done. So that's it for our word of the day. Have a good day. See you guys next time.